In a world where risk evolves faster than news cycles, clarity isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. In every sector and every sphere, resilience begins long before the threat appears, with intelligence that sees first and acts faster. At that intersection of uncertainty and action stands one name: ThreatInsight.
Hi, and welcome to ThreatInsight TV. I'm young Botha. In an environment where risk evolves rapidly, understanding the full picture is essential. On this channel, we examine the developments shaping security, stability, and strategic decision-making across Africa and beyond. At ThreatInsight, intelligence is not noise. It is clarity with purpose. Subscribe to stay informed, stay prepared, and stay ahead.
Morning, Chris. Morning, Jan.
Can you please give me a brief overview of your life and career?
Jan, I started off as a soldier in the South African Defence Force during the 1980s. Eventually ended up within the larger intelligence environment. During the late 80s and early 90s, and from there transitioned into more of a corporate security environment, where I got the necessary exposure to both business and technology. This culminated in qualifications across artificial intelligence, electronical engineering, economics, strategy, mathematics, from institutions as prestigious MIT. This combination of base knowledge combined with practical experience that was gathered from quite often from high hostile environments, gave me the ability to identify an end-to-end threat landscape. And this empowers me to lead our teams, to meet a very practical need of our clients in a way that enables our clients to take proactive, measures when they face security. But you also have a similar history. Tell us a little bit more about yours.
So, Genis, my career started in 1989 within the intelligence community. I'd spent about 17 years there and then joined the Scorpions as head of their forensic analysis division. I did that for 5 years. Both those careers gave me extremely great exposure to a variety of environments and worlds, learning and understanding how business works from an intelligence perspective. And then started in approximately 2001 a company called Online Intelligence, where we developed an incident and investigative case management system. And it started out or off as two young boys building a system and starting a company. And that business grew into 54 countries today. And again, the same thing, learned the corporate world, learned how business works, their requirements, and the combination of that and understanding intelligence brought me to a point where I realized that the client has a specific need for actionable intelligence, a preemptive knowledge of what's going to happen and the exposure value of risk. And that led to the forming of a company called ThreatInsight, of which we have a footprint across the world today. And let's talk about ThreatInsight.
Thanks, Sean. So ThreatInsight, was created to help organizations navigate today's complex risk landscape with confidence. It is easy to tell somebody what risk they're about to face. It's a total different thing to tell them how to face it. Not just you are going to have a risk, but what do you do about this, and what opportunities are there within that for you? And we service clients across South Africa, throughout Europe, throughout North America, South America. So we truly have a global footprint out there. We service clients in a variety of of environments and risks that they might face. Anything from mining, in high hostile environments, VIP protection units out there that operate in high risk environments where war and civil war is quite often part of that variable. Some of our mining and oil clients are sitting in areas that are plagued by terrorism. So we service each and every one of them, and then the normal corporate traveler traveling throughout the world, making sure that they come back to see their families. High risk environments, the DRC, extracting individuals from there back to South Africa to ensure that they see their families again. Making sure that travelers traveling into the Middle East when things are not going well between Iran and Israel and United States of America, making sure that business can continue and organizations can continue to service their clients, expand their business, but at the same time meet their duty of care towards their own employees out there. And that is what we do.
So typically, there's vast amount of information out there. Our objective is to collect those, go through the verification process, transpose it into actionable intelligence, get it into a format that's easily absorbable for the client, and get it in time so that they can take decisions to avoid.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if that's the departure point, let's talk about ThreatInsight, turning this information into action. What does it mean in practice?
So, Jan, first of all, I think, there's the operational component, but I think prior to that, we kick off with a philosophy. And the philosophy we have is that we must always enable our client. The reality is it is risky to be alive. So risk cannot be used as a means to not take action, not do business, exclude yourself from the opportunities that's out there. Meaning it is our responsibility to provide a client with the window of opportunity within this large risk landscape of which when they can operate to ensure that they can continue to do the business that they're doing, service their clients, meet with their clients, expand their footprint. Our responsibility is to collect the necessary information, transform that into actionable intelligence through a combination of analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, our human experience, human intelligence that we pulled into this, to provide the client with that proactive component, which allows them to understand the risk across their entire landscape and to anticipate where various attacks, whether it is something like cyber through or political, something more physical, so crimes, political, social threats, that kind of stuff, terrorism, civil war, and allow them to continue to operate in those complex environments by understanding how they can mitigate, how they can position themselves, but in essence, so that they can continue to do business safely.
Genis, what sets ThreatInsight apart from the other risk advisory organizations? And we know there are plenty across the world.
Yeah, I think primarily we merge three very important things together. First of all, because of our experience at a operational tactical level, honed in environments that were truly high risk environments, we understand that world. We understand the real risks and the threats that our clients face at various levels. So first of all, that practical experience that was honed under pressure. I think that is the one critical component that we have that so many of the other companies simply don't have. And the second one is our adoption of technology and our ability to leverage from modern day tools, big data, incorporating that, using machine learning, deploying AI over that, and truly, utilizing what is cutting edge to enhance that practical experience that we bring to the table. And then lastly, we understand how business functions and truly what our clients need. And I think that combination of those three is often missed in other organizations, and that is what we bring to the table.
So one, we lived that world. Secondly, we have a capacity from an IT perspective to navigate, to find, to seek, to transpose.
Correct.
And thirdly, building that relationship with the client to provide a personalized service that is not necessarily linked to hours. It's a 24/7 solution that never stops producing, and with one objective of providing business continuity.
Absolutely, and to build that resilience for our clients is a trust relationship. So we've got large banks that trust us. We've got large mining groups that trust us. We have got large insurance companies that trust us, and we've got VIP protection companies out there. They trust us. It's mission critical, Tom. Absolutely, and we don't drop the ball. We make sure that our clients' needs are met. How we do that is our problem, not theirs. Correct.
So can you give me or provide me with a brief overview of the products that we offer?
Yes, Jan, absolutely. So first of all, we start off with our risk surveillance products. And those are real-time information, events that is taking place now. We forward those things through in the form of alerts, push notifications, that kind of stuff. Dashboard proactive. We package some of the historical information in dashboards so that we can easily, together with the client, identify upcoming risks because the trend says so. So we make that combination between data analytics and real-time intelligence, and we push that through to the client. And then we back that up with large-scale risk assessments. That's everything from understanding what the US strategy is at this moment in time, where everything is in flux, where things continually change. One is a global risk that we are facing. Where does the opportunities within that lies? And that's our risk assessment products. They are intended there to provide a little bit higher level insight, where our alerts and those kind of things sit at a tactical operational level. Our risk assessments sit here. They bridge the gap between operational and the strategic. What do I need to plan? How do I need to position my company and myself?
And this is called with, sorry, it's often with the distinction between movement and no movement.
Absolutely, yes. And then we dive into the cyber environment, and the cyber environment is complex, and I believe a lot of our clients do a really good job with their watchdog, software and those kind of things that they superimpose on their infrastructure. But what is often missing is the brand exposure component. It's somebody to monitor what's happening with your brand from a sentiment perspective. What is the legitimacy around your brand? Is it being focused? Is it targeted? And then obviously that soft target vulnerability. I mean, the people that work for you that can so easily open a back door unintentionally, which can be exploited. That component, and for that you can't just plug some software in and all of a sudden everything is good. So that is where we come in. So a lot of research on our behalf. It's a lot of penetration testing, specifically around your soft targeting and that kind. It's your brand monitoring and things that lie in that environment. And then we move on. All our clients have a single need, and that is to have a safe and secure communication environment, boardrooms, meeting rooms, offices, and stuff like that, where they can function with dealing with complex and confidential information without the probability of that leaking out. And that is where we bring a team with more than 30 years of experience to do the technical counter surveillance on site. Old days we call that debugging. It's a little bit more sophisticated today.
Yes.
But we ensure that when we leave there is a safe and secure communication environment. And then we move on to something a little bit more supportive to our clients' investigative teams out there. We provide a forensic back-end service, everything there from analytics, assisting them to build, spider graphs and relationships and stuff like that across large data sets. And together with that, conduct the lifestyle audits that is required so that we can identify who the suspects and the people of interest are, and then assisting them with integrity management, making sure that key employees that is functioning within an environment is credible and can be trusted. And then we move on, I think, to something that has become a buzzword, and that is open source intelligence. We provide open source intelligence as a service, not as a product. And the reason for that is you cannot have open source intelligence without a lot of experience, without a lot of technical know-how, and we bring that know-how or that experience, the technical skills and stuff, and we mix open source intelligence there with human intelligence. Information that flows in and is confirmed by a human being, a person standing in the heat of the moment, following that, and that allows us to frame the risk landscape for our client contextually is very well so that they understand what they are facing. And then, we together with our travel service that we provide, a travel risk management, we together with that provide a crisis and command and communication quick response functionality where on our travel side, we can assist clients with everything from their pre-travel risk advisories all the way to live tracking where a client is, and then feed real-time threat information to that client via mobile application. And if the worst happens, we're sitting there on the back end to ensure that we can coordinate the extraction from high-risk areas like we did in the DRC when M23, did their attack in the northeast, and other places like Israel, Iran, throughout the Middle East, and coordinating, ensuring that we coordinate with all those travelers that they can remain safe at any given moment in time, and that at the end of the day, we ensure that the organization meets its duty to care towards all its employees, and those are all our products.
Chris, that's an extensive basket of products. It's quite comprehensive. And if you would like to know more, please contact us on our webpage. And we look forward to speaking to you. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for this.
Every minute counts when threats emerge. A delayed decision can cost millions or lives. With ThreatInSight, you gain proactive detection, contextual insight, and operational continuity. Contact us today and let us help you stay vigilant, informed, and protect what matters most, with intelligence that clarifies, empowers, and protects.